Welcome to the Pet Loss Journals podcast. I am your host Louise. This podcast is all about the reality and impact pet loss has on our lives, and I will be discussing my personal journey through pet loss. So if you are struggling on your own pet loss journey, then this is the podcast for you. Welcome to episode 19. This week's journal entry is from the 21st of January 2021. I would like to jump right in really, so I will start sharing now. Today was a good day. I have decided to move in with Steve. I have never been more ready for this. I deserve happiness. After deep pain must come happiness. I truly believe that. It's hard to believe it's 2021, another new year without my gorgeous dogs by my side. I see the two robins in my garden a lot lately. Kinda convinced it's them. It's comforting. I'm not sure I will ever stop missing them, but one step at a time. That is my journal entry for this week. It is from January 2021, and it's hard that I got to that stage. It's hard to see that so much time has gone by and that I'm still struggling, but also that there's huge change in my life. As you have heard in the journal entry, that I had decided to move in with Steve, and this was such a huge decision for me. I'd like to talk a little bit more about big change happening while we're grieving, because I know that this can happen, and this has happened for so many people and clients that I have spoken with. Taking a leap, taking a big life-changing decision can also bring up deep waves of grief. For example, particularly for me, it is the case of leaving a familiar place or leaving a house where so much has happened, where both of my dogs passed away. Now, I would like to share that this was my house, so it's not a case that I'm moving out of somewhere and never coming back to that house. You know, that it was my very own house. So I was just moving in with Steve in a different location, a few hours away from my own house. It's a comfort that I can still go back there and I can still be with their energy. You know, it's such a special house for me. Obviously a lot of pain has happened there, a lot of trauma, but also it's so many good memories have happened in that house, and it's so special to me. It's my little safe place, and it's wonderful that I can still have that in my life. It's great. And sharing this huge life change was very daunting for me. It was very uncomfortable for me. It was something that, it was feelings of, feeling conflicted about what is the right thing to do, mainly around the fear of another loss happening. Will this work out? Will I just lose another person important to my life if it doesn't work out? And these questions, and we often ask ourselves these questions after we've experienced really major losses in our life, which I had done. And even though I had done in 2019, just because this is 2021, it does not mean that I still have those fears, that I still have those feelings of just confusion and feeling conflicted as to, is this the right decision, and questioning myself which really is all fear-based, which really stems back to a fear of loss. How much more loss can I take in my life? Am I risking something? These are all valid questions, and that you as listeners have, I'm sure, asked yourselves these questions when you're going through a major change in your life following a grief experience. These are all natural and normal emotions to feel. I just want to say that out loud for you. It's okay to feel that way. I also said, which was a lovely thing to say to myself, which was nice self-narrative. I deserve happiness. After deep pain must come happiness. I truly believe that. I still believe that. I definitely still believe that. I don't believe that anymore. I don't believe anymore that another bad thing is going to happen now because this bad thing happened. That is not what I believed. And it's clearly not what I believed in 2021. Obviously, I had to get to that level. I had to get to that mindset. But I had witnessed that. That had happened for me in my life. That after such tragic loss, something amazing and beautiful happened. That I met this person. And that then now I am moving my life to be with this person. And it is such a huge change. But I do truly believe that happiness can come after deep pain. And that can be in any different form. A new job, people go travelling, people find new friends, something happens, something good comes into their life after such tragic loss. And I really believe that. And whether it's something small or whether it's a really big change, it's irrelevant really. But just to be aware that what is this thing? Maybe somebody has come into your life that you kind of might have dismissed even. Because when we are in that deep wave and sense of grief, it's hard to see the external. It's hard to see what's really going on externally for us in our lives. That is totally normal. It's totally understandable to feel that way. I also mentioned that I see the 2 robins in my garden a lot lately, and I'm kind of convinced that it's them. It's comforting, and I still do. I see robins where I've moved to, in my new chapter of my life. So I was worried that I would stop seeing the robins so often, but no. They are still here. They are still around me. It's comforting because it's no matter where I am in this world that the memory and the energy of my dogs is always nearby. Always. And that is like a huge support and comfort personally to me. It really, really is. It's great. This was an important journal entry to share. And although I do say I'm not sure I will ever stop missing them, but one step at a time. That is probably true to this day. I don't think I will ever stop missing both of my dogs. And it's 4 years on now. But what has changed is those feelings of missing them, they don't turn intensely painful for me. I can get feelings of missing them immensely, and then I can nearly automatically then just remember the love and the affection and the joy that they gave me, that they showered me with in my life. That's where I am now. That is possible for you. That is so possible for you to get to that stage. There is no exact time limit for when you feel that you're at that stage. There is no timeline for grief. There are no stages of grief. There are no set linear ways that grief happens. It's not. It's not like that. Grief is individual to each person. And I did mention there a second ago that there are no stages of grief, that we are all conditioned to learn and understand over the years. It's passed down from generation to generation, but Elizabeth Kubler-Ross's work on the stages of grief were really surrounded and centred around a human dying of a terminal illness and the stages that dying person experiences. The stages of their personal grief experience is what her research has been years and years ago. And somehow this got distorted down through the years, and somehow has manifested as the stages of grief that a living person experiences when a loved one of theirs dies. But I don't know what happened. But if you are unsure about what I'm talking about, please just pop it into Google and have a read, have a research. Because this can be a shock for many clients that I work with and many people that I speak with. This can be quite a shock, and that's okay, because we are conditioned to think that there are set stages that we're going through. Why aren't we on this stage? Why did I miss this stage? How long is this stage supposed to go on for? And it's just not the case. There aren't stages of grief. There really aren't. So have a read, have a little read into it. I am happy to offer any more information to anybody who is confused and interested in learning a little bit more about it, of course. And this is a part of the program, the Pet Loss Recovery Program, because it is relevant, because we speak about grief education, the myths, the facts and the misinformation, and this is a section in it that is all about the misinformation that has been circulated throughout society for many, many years. This was a real comfort to me when I found out this truth. I don't remember feeling like massive shock, but I remember feeling, I remember that makes so much sense, because, like, for example, the stage of denial, like I wasn't ever experiencing that stage. I wasn't ever in denial that my dogs were not indeed dead. So I was always confused at that particular stage, in inverted commas, of grief, because I didn't go through it. I didn't experience it. I'm like, well, there must be something wrong with me because I didn't experience this particular stage, but that's obviously not true. Putting pressure unnecessarily on ourselves when it comes to stages of grief is so damaging, while we're trying to process all of these emotions attached to this major grief experience that we're going through in relation to our companion animal, and indeed in relation to any loss experience in our life, be that a loved one or be that any kind of loss. So I wasn't planning to go down that road in the episode, but I'm glad that I shared that, and I hope that it is helpful for you, because there's no set stages for grief. There is no set timeline for grief. Everybody is unique and individual and different while they're grieving, and that is perfectly okay and perfectly normal. It really, really is. I have loved sharing all of these episodes so far. I truly can't believe that I've done 19 episodes. It is something that I didn't plan to do, and it's been really rewarding and it's been really motivating to keep going with these episodes, because I hear so much amazing feedback and comments that it is helpful for people and they are feeling validated in their grief. They can relate to so much that I speak about. So indeed, me sharing these vulnerable snippets of my life can help people to feel less alone and begin to have awareness and begin to realise that they have some healing to do. And if you're listening and you're struggling, please know that I will do my very best to continue with these episodes. It is the 1st of December and Christmas can be really, really difficult without our beloved pets, without our companion animals by our side. And if this is going to be coming up to your first Christmas without your pet, I will be releasing a bonus episode all about trying to cope with pet loss during the holidays. I hope that episode will be super comforting for so many people, because I know that for many, spending all of that extra quality time with our pets at Christmas was just so special and invaluable and so amazing that really can be such a difficult time and a time of such struggle for people. So that is a sneak peek of what is to come in the next couple of weeks approaching Christmas. And for many, it can be such a hard, painful time. And I want to be able to acknowledge that for those that really need it. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this week's episode. Remember, your pet loss grief is real and it is so valid. Please be gentle on yourself. Until next time, take care.